A year ago, I had plastic surgery. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, today I'm going to talk about something that happened a year ago that I think I still have the footage from, but we'll see if I still have the footage from it. But a year ago, I had plastic surgery. I had it for like several reasons, and it took me about 3 years to actually make up the decision to do it. So last year my breasts were a triple D, and it just got to the point where it was causing me extreme back pain, just literally knee pain, back pain, neck pain, everything that you can think of. So that was when I fully came to the conclusion, made the decision to actually like schedule a consultation, set up an appointment to have the surgery done, because at that point I was just so over it. So I set up my consultation with Dr. Crawford. This was before he got a TV show, became famous, all of that stuff. So I set up my appointment with Dr. Crawford. I was referred to him by his wife, who was my main doctor at the time. I scheduled my consultation. We met, came in, I told him about my problem, everything. So he looked at my breast and told me like the right one is like this long. I can't exactly remember the measurements. And then the left one was like really long. So it's like they're so different. Like you can notice, I can notice even in a bra, like you could just notice that they weren't the same size. So that was another reason I wanted to do it as well, because it was just beyond embarrassing to have your boobs not be the same size at all. So he took a bunch of pictures of me from different angles and then told me like exactly what the surgery would be, like what the risk would be and all this stuff. So after taking the pictures, he had me like think about it, because obviously last year I was 25 years old. At 25 years old and being married, like you're thinking about, okay, I want to have kids in my future, like I want to do such and such in my future. So he sent me home to think about if I actually wanted to do it. Because my boobs were so big, it was like I couldn't just have breast reduction surgery and like keep my areolas on. They had to like completely cut them off and then like re-stitch them onto like the new breast. So with that being said, that would pretty much mean that my chance of breastfeeding like went from very, very high to very, very low to non-existent at all. That was something I needed to think about, like if I wanted to do it, because I always said like I wanted to breastfeed when I have my children. But I just came to the ultimate conclusion that it wasn't worth like not doing the surgery because I wanted to breastfeed. Because who knows, maybe someday I will be able to do so. But it was more important to like stop the back pain, stop the neck pain, just the pain in general. So in order for me to have the surgery, I had to go to a chiropractor, and they had to do x-rays of my spine, my neck and everything, so that I could like use that as a case to present to the insurance company so that they could cover the surgery. Otherwise, it would just be considered cosmetic surgery, which I wasn't doing it for cosmetic reasons at all. So I went to a chiropractor. They did some x-rays for me. They showed me like how curved my spine was and everything from just having like super large breast. So I was then able to take the films back to Dr. Crawford, and literally the next day they called me. They said, you got approved to do the surgery. Let's just set up an appointment. So I believe that was in, I want to say June. I want to say June. I believe in June I called, and we set up the surgery for July. It's like July 15, 20, something around there. So we set up the surgery, called my mom and I let her know, and I called my dad, let him know. I'm like, hey, yeah, I set up an appointment to have my surgery done and all this stuff. So at the time they knew that it was something I was considering, but they didn't think that it would come so soon. So I set up the appointment to have the surgery, and my mom came down to like be with me. My dad couldn't come at the time, but my mom came down, and we got a hotel room. We went shopping to get me like night clothes and things that I could be comfortable in, because obviously having major surgery, you want to do everything that you can before so that after surgery you can just relax and rest. So we did all of that stuff and we went back to the hotel room. And at the time, like, I wasn't married, I was engaged, so my fiance was there, like, helping my mom, like, with me and stuff like that. So the day came for the surgery, and literally I could not sleep at all the night before. And it wasn't because I was scared or anything, I was just like thinking about the process, like, I'm gonna go to sleep, wake up, and I'm not gonna have big boobs anymore. Like, I guess it was like the excitement of the situation, I'm not exactly sure. So the next morning we get ready, we leave our hotel, like, me and my mom leave our hotel, my fiance leaves it with us, and we put the stuff in the car. We take my fiance to work, and after work, like, me and my mom go, we pick him up like in the morning. I think my surgery was like around 9 in the morning. So we pick him up from work and we drive to the hospital and stuff like that. So we're just like filming like the whole process and stuff that took place, which if I still have the footage, I will insert it. So we were filming everything that took place. We check in, they give me a wristband with all the information on it. I fill out my sheet for emergency contacts and stuff like that. Our pastor at the time, like, came to pray and make sure I was okay. And then the family friend who we used to hang out with all the time from when I lived back in Maryland, he was just so happened to live in Georgia at the time, so he came to pray with us and visit and all this stuff. So I just remember laying in the bed, they give me like a blanket to like keep me warm and stuff like that. They give me hospital socks. They make me pee in a cup to see if I'm pregnant or not, which obviously I wasn't. So I had to do all of that stuff. Then comes the part that I hate the most, where I have to get an IV in my arm. So I get the IV in my arm. It wasn't that bad, honestly. And then I have like a little IV in my hand just in case, which I assume was to like put medicine through and stuff like that. So I'm just laying there. My plastic surgeon comes in, he talks to me, he lets me know exactly what's going to happen. Then he draws a bunch of lines on me with like a black Sharpie marker or surgeon marker, I don't even know what it is. But all I knew is I had like black lines to show, okay, this is going from down here to up here, all of this stuff. So he does that, then he leaves. I for sure let him know that I wanted to be a B. And then I changed my mind and I said a C at the most. So he said, okay. Then the anesthesiologist comes in, he lets me know what to expect and all this stuff. So after a little bit of talking, discussing stuff with me, like, everyone has to leave the room. So my mom has to leave the room, my fiance has to leave the room, and I'm just there. A nurse comes in and she just starts wheeling me out. Like, I'm on the bed, she's like pushing me out and stuff into the hallway. So she pushes me out into the hallway to take me to the surgical room. So I get to the surgical room and it's just like, I'm still not scared, I'm just kind of like in amazement, because I get to the surgical room and I'm like looking around and stuff like that, and it kind of reminded me of Grey's Anatomy, not even lying. So I'm like in there and it's like freezing cold. I look up, there's like a big light above me, and like I look, like tilt my head backwards, and there's like the little room where like the residents and stuff sit in so that they can see the surgery and stuff like that. So I was like, wow, this is kind of cool, like it really does look like Grey's Anatomy. So the anesthesiologist comes in and then they start giving me stuff through my IV to like put me to sleep. So I'm cold. I just remember like freezing and being cold, and then like I just remember them telling me to count down from like 10 all the way to 1. So I'm like counting, I'm like 10, 9, 8, 7, or whatever. I don't even think I got to 5, like I just was completely gone. So just like done out. So obviously they did the surgery and stuff like that. Then I wake up, it just feels like I just had the best sleep of my life. So I wake up and I'm like, what? We're done already? Obviously not that excited because I was on drugs. So I wake up from surgery, I'm saying, what, we're done already? Because it felt like literally I went to sleep, had the best sleep of my life, and then all of a sudden I like woke up. Like I had no track of time, I didn't know how many hours went by or anything. Best feeling ever. So the nurse who's in there with me, she's like, yes, you're done, everything went great, Dr. Crawford discharged you. I said, what? Discharged me? Like literally I just had surgery and you want to send me home. Like you discharged me. I was like, no, please, like, get me a room. I want to stay the night, because I was not about to go home. I just had surgery. Like, what? In my head, I'm like, okay, I'm in pain. I don't want to deal with this. Like, what if I go home? What if something happens to me? So I said, no, I don't want to be discharged. Like, get me a room for the night. So she said, okay, we'll see what we can do, all of this stuff. So she's like, how's your pain level? Like, what's going on? Like, all of this stuff. I'm like, I'm in pain. Like, I just literally, it feels like something was sitting on my chest. I'm like, I'm in so much pain. Like, I just want my mom, I just want my fiance or whatever. She's like, don't worry, they're coming. So I'm still like in the recovery room, like waiting for them to give me a room. Then all of a sudden, they roll this guy in beside me. This was kind of like the whole highlight of my surgery, because like, even though I was like emotional and crying, like this made me laugh, and I don't even know for what reason it made me laugh. So the doctor rolls him into the room and he's like, I don't remember his name, but he's like, yeah, you have to stop smoking. And the guy's like looking at him like, what? Like, why? Like, kind of like that what? Like, why look on his face. You have to stop smoking, because you coded so many times on the table, and I had to save you and bring you back to life. In my head, I'm like, what the heck? He's like, yes, we had to take out so much of this from your body, whatever. I think it was like esophagus. They had to like cut some of his esophagus, because he said it was like so damaged from him smoking all the time. So we have to do this, whatever, and I just want to let you know that if you pick up another cigarette, like, you're just not gonna make it. And so I'm like kind of like laughing, snickering a little bit, but like not at the situation. I'm like laughing at the fact that this doctor is like being so honest and so like funny. Like the way he said it was just like, yeah, if you do this again, like this is what's gonna happen to you. So like think about it before you do it. Like he wasn't sugarcoating it or anything. I want you to know that you died several times on the table. So if you do this, this is what's gonna happen. So like that kind of like made me feel a little bit better, because I was like so emotional. I'm like, okay, this is the highlight of this day. So then they finally like roll me out, give me a room, all this stuff. Yeah, I'm just not in the mood. They have like these little, what do you call it? Massage things on my legs. So it's like massaging my blood to like keep it circulating so I don't get blood clots. So they're on my legs, they have to stay on my legs. I'm just like in the bed, just chilling, relaxing. Have this water thing to get like liquid in my body, and as well as medicine. So I'm like in my bed, I'm just like, you know, in pain. I can't sit up, I'm just like laying back like this. And so every time I'm like in pain, I had this button that I could click. So I click the button, the medicine comes down into my body and, you know, relaxes me. So I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm like, okay, well, I feel like real good. Like I don't feel anything at all. Next thing I know, my mom's like, what kind of medicine is in her IV? Like, what kind of medicine are you giving her? And then they're like, morphine. Morphine. My mom looks, and I remember my dad saying, if you ever go to the hospital, like make sure they don't give you morphine, because people get addicted to that stuff or whatever. Well, lo and behold, I was having a reaction to the medication. So every time I had to go to the bathroom, I'm like trying to get out the bed. So my mom's like up. She's like trying to help me out the bed. So she like turns my legs and stuff like that. Gets me out of the bed. I lean over and I'm like so nauseous. Like so nauseous. Like I lean over and all of a sudden I'm like puking everywhere. Puking all over my socks, everything. We had to call the nurse. They had to clean all the mess up off the floor and stuff like that. So I finally get to the bathroom. I'm just like, ugh, I just feel so horrible. Then I start throwing up again. They're like, okay, what's going on? Like, why are you throwing up so much? Like, what is going on? So they have to clean that up too, change my hospital gown, get me new hospital socks and stuff like that. I finally get back into the bed, just laying back, chilling, relaxing. Then like I try to go to sleep, but like I have to go to sleep like sitting up. I can't lay down. I have to like sit up and go to sleep. So, you know, I go to sleep, like maybe 2 hours pass by or whatever. I have to go to the bathroom again. So I'm like, mom, like I'm calling my mom to like get her up, like to help me or whatever, because I couldn't get out the bed by myself because I literally couldn't move. So she helps me or whatever again. I throw up like 3 more times after that. Have to get my clothes changed again, have to get my socks changed again. Like at that point, like I'm pretty sure the nurses hated me because they had to clean up all this crap every time I threw up. So eventually they had to like switch out my IV, get me like a different kind of medication that wasn't that strong, that wasn't making me so nauseous, that wasn't making me throw up or whatever. So I go to sleep, wake up the next day, we're ready to be discharged from the hospital. So, you know, they come, my mom puts on my like minion pajamas and like my blue and white plaid pants, put it on, we're ready to roll. So they bring me a wheelchair, I sit in the wheelchair, my fiance rolls me out to like a certain point, then he goes and gets the car, so me and my mom are just sitting there waiting. We're like, oh bye, thank you so much for everything that you did, because they had to clean up so much crap. It's like, thank you so much for everything that you did. They're like, yeah, no problem, whatever. So I get down, my mom like, the nurse is wheeling me out in the wheelchair, my mom's like walking beside me with like all my stuff. So they wheel us out to like the front of the hospital. Then my fiance drives up with the car, they like help me in the car. I'm like literally in the car in the front seat, gotta lean my chair back. So the chair is like leaned back, I'm like, oh, I don't want to deal with this right now, I don't. So then we get back to the hotel, we spend one night in the hotel. With me just, you know, chilling in the bed, lean back. So I had to sleep like that. I was like in so much pain, like it was just weird to like roll over and stuff like that. Like I couldn't use the bathroom by myself. Like when I need to take a bath, like someone had to help me take a bath, because I couldn't like take my arms and like move them backwards. Like I couldn't stretch anything out. Like I was wrapped with like an ace bandage like several times around, so it was like so tight to like keep everything in place. So did that, and then I had like 2 tubes like stuck in my side that was like draining out the blood and like the liquid and stuff like that, so I didn't get blood clots or anything. So I go through that. They sent me home with like 4 medications. I don't remember which one I took, but I did take, I took one, you had to take it like every 4 hours or something, and it was like to keep down infections. And then I had hydrocodone, which, oh my gosh, I took one and I started throwing up because it was so strong. So I still have it because I never used it. And then we go back to where we were staying at the time. Like we show my mom around, everything like that. And I literally had to sleep for like the next week and a half with the back pillow like just sitting up straight. There was one point where I was just so done. I was like, I'm so done. Like I can't do this. Like I'm so done. Like I wanted to just give up. I was itchy. I couldn't take the ace bandage off. So miserable. Like my fiance had to go to work every single day. So during the times where he was at work, I had to fend for myself. So I'd have to waddle myself to the bathroom, try to sit down, use the bathroom, all this stuff that people don't tell you about when you have surgery. So I did that, and I think the most depressing part about the whole situation was because I was in a lot of pain because I couldn't take my medication because it was too strong and I would throw it up. And it was just at the point where I just wanted to go outside. Like I just wanted to be normal. Like I wanted to go outside. I wanted to like walk around. I wanted to breathe fresh air and stuff like that. Like I didn't want to be stuck in the bed all day, in the room all day, like having to sit up to sleep or anything. So when my fiance would come home, it was like the highlight of my days. So we would like go grocery shopping, do stuff like that, like little things that I could do. But I would always like be in my pajamas and stuff like that because I had to hide the big old drains from the side. So like I would try to tuck them in the side of my sports bra, everything like that, just to like kind of disguise them and stuff. So I want to say like on a Wednesday or something, I finally was able to go to the doctor. So the whole time, like after you have surgery, you get a sheet that you have to check your drains, write down how much fluid was in each one, and then it has to be like under a certain milliliter or something like that in order for them to like remove the drains. So I was ready, I had my sheet, everything, like ready to walk in, go do it. And then stupid me researches like, okay, how do they take these drains out? Like, is it painful? Like, what happened? So people have said that they like rip them out, like their skin has come out with it. So I'm like freaking out. Like I literally popped 2 Advil before I go take my drains out, like just in case I'm in pain. So I'm there, I'm in the doctor's office. Like one of my drains had already started coming out, like this metal stitch that they had in there like came loose, so it was like starting to come out some. So, you know, she starts at the right side, she starts removing the drain and like comes out. Like like I'm not in pain. Like I'm surprised I'm just not in pain. But I can like feel it like slither down and around. Like it was so gross because you could feel it. So then she goes to the next side, she does the same thing, removes the drain. I'm like, oh my goodness, like that was so easy. Like I heard that it was gonna hurt and stuff like that. She's like, no, it's completely fine. I'm like, okay, good. So they like put band-aids on me and stuff like that, send me home to heal. 5 or 6 months later, I was still like in a little bit of pain, but it wasn't like that serious. Like I would have sharp pains every now and then. I think it was still healing and stuff like that. So now, like to this day, I have pain like every now and then, but some people have said that it takes them like 1 to 3 years to like fully heal and like not have pain and stuff anymore at all. So it's like my breasts don't hurt. It's just like every now and then, like I'll have like a sharp pain, or like, you know, just something will feel weird or something will hurt. But pretty much, having that surgery was the best thing that honestly I can say that I've done, because my back doesn't hurt anymore. Like I just feel lighter. I feel different. Like before, when I was like a triple D, I literally had to wear a bra all the time. It was like so, my boobs were so heavy. Like it was hard to find bathing suits that fit me. Like what else? Bathing suits didn't fit me, sports bras didn't fit me, my breasts were so heavy. I always had to wear bras. When I would take my bra off, like it was just so gross to me, like just not at all. Now, after having the surgery, I'm a size, like I'm a D. And I don't have to wear a bra all the time if I don't want to. I can actually go outside without a bra on because my boobs are so small. So to anyone who's considering having breast reduction surgery because like your breasts are too big, or you know, just something like that, like I would 100% recommend it, because I feel like it's something that you just won't regret, because all you have it to compare to is like this horrible moment that you're living in right now. So you have nothing else to like regret. Like it'll be a good decision, probably one of the best decisions you ever made, one of the best decisions I ever made. And if I had to go back and do it again, like I would completely do it all over again, pain and all. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed just having a sit down chit chat with you and just talking about my plastic surgery story. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Caught up in my tea.